Where do amateur filmmakers go wrong writing and shooting their screenplays? To explain this, I'm going to look at films published by amateur filmmakers in South Africa and create critical essays about them. Now let me just add this point. Creating these essays is in no way to embarrass amateur filmmakers or aspiring writers and filmmakers, but to help them and others to create better films. Amateur and indie filmmakers are the future of filmmaking in South Africa and around the world, especially when you look at the bad quality of films made by film producers, professional film producers, and film companies in the last few years. Hi, I'm Isaac. Now, where do amateur filmmakers or aspiring filmmakers or screenplay writers go wrong in writing and creating their films? When you watch amateur films made in South Africa over the last few years, you can see that they are not really good films. And it is not because of the equipment that they use, even though they say they will be able to make better films if they have better equipment. No, it's not the equipment. It's not the drones that they want. Unfortunately, the problem is far bigger, and it starts with amateur filmmakers or aspiring writers and filmmakers writing their scripts and their screenplays, and how they use their ideas to write their scripts and their screenplays. Today I'm going to use one of Rowan Boyston, probably the most famous South African amateur filmmaker or aspiring filmmaker and scriptwriter in this country. Looking at the amount of followers he has and at the buzz he created on radio and in newspapers and in magazines. And the film I'm particularly going to look at is his last film, Teenage Pregnancy. And I will highlight the problems in this film. Now let me state again, this is not to embarrass Rowan, but to help him and others to start creating better films. In today's video, I will look at how aspiring writers and filmmakers go wrong with idea, theme, and moral when they write their screenplays or their scripts for their film. The reason why our aspiring writers, screenplay and scriptwriters and filmmakers seems to go wrong in creating their scripts is because of the confusion they have with idea, theme, and moral. And I will try to clear up this confusion in later videos where I will talk specifically about these three things: idea, theme, and moral. It seems as if Rowan himself has used theme and moral as the idea for his films. And it is very obvious in the film Teenage Pregnancy. I don't totally blame Rowan alone for that. And the reason is because theme and topic are used interchangeably all the time. When you look at meetings arranged or discussions being arranged around a certain topic, you will hear mostly people talk about the theme for the discussion. And that is where the confusion also comes in amongst our amateur filmmakers. Teenage pregnancy is a topic. It's not a theme, but it has become themes for discussion in discussion groups, or when debates are held, they normally talk about the theme. And teenage pregnancy alcohol abuse, and such things are normally seen as themes for the discussion. But a topic and theme is two totally different things. But I will go into that later when I talk about idea, themes, and morals. Now, Ruan came up with the theme, teenage pregnancy. And coming up with the theme, teenage pregnancy, he also thought about the moral implications of teenage pregnancy. And it's from that idea that he started writing his script. So, theme and moral became the idea for his script. The second mistake Ruan made was to use his first draft when he finished writing his original screenplay or script as the final draft to make his film. And that is a big no-no. Your first draft is never ready to film. Now, where and how did Ruan go wrong in writing his screenplay or his script for the film Teenage Pregnancy? Number one, as I have stated before, he used the theme that he came up with as the basis for the idea for his film. He then started thinking of using what he has heard and seen in his community to add to that. Now, Ruan's entire idea seems to have been to recreate the reality as he saw and experienced it in his community as the reality for his film. Now, this is what aspiring writers and filmmakers or amateur writers and filmmakers normally do when they start to write their screenplays, especially those who make films about social problems or issues in their communities. But here's the problem. Film is not about recreating reality as you see it, but to create a better reality on screen that would seem far more real than reality itself, far more real than the reality they see outside in the community where they live or in their own homes. And they have to do so in order to draw a wider audience or viewers to watch their films. But unfortunately, it seems as if amateur filmmakers and aspiring writers still believe that they should use the situations and the words that are familiar to their audience or viewers in their films. They therefore concentrate more on that than on plot and or story in their films, trying to recreate that reality that they see around them in their plots and or stories for their films. Ruan, like most other aspiring writers or amateur writers and filmmakers, seems to believe that it is that which they hear in their communities, that they see in their communities, that they should use in their films. And that is why you see them using their reality, the way they see things, the way they view things, the way they experience things in their communities, in their films. It is also for this reason that they choose specific topics or things for their films and specific titles for their films. An example of that is Teenage Pregnancy, the film under review. The title, Teenage Pregnancy. Now keep that in mind. Keep that title in mind. Now, the titles for the films is also chosen for a specific reason. And that reason is that it will be easy for the audience or the viewer to latch onto because it is something familiar to them. Whether it is a specific social problem, whether it is a problem in homes, whether it is a problem in the wider community, the audience or viewers will latch onto it because it is something they know, something they experience, or something they are aware of. And that is why specific titles are also used in most amateur filmmakers' films.